How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming, I've been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Hello, Mr. Charles. Welcome to Wet Wednesday.
Yes.
Over at Saratoga. The track is sloppy. The turf is off. And scratches at the very last minute. Thankfully, they canceled the first race. Otherwise, Charles and I would have been trying to wing it as we try to do through the show. But fortunately, a little extra time for us to get ourselves situated with the late scratches. So all of our picks reflect what's happening at the track, at least as of right now. That could change, though, I'd imagine, by the time all the races get started.
Yeah, that rain has really did some damage up there at Saratoga this whole meet. So
maybe the sky is crying, to steal the words from Stevie Ray Vaughan, because of the horses falling down on the weekend.
Yes.
Could well be. All right, so last night I had to fill in for Jamie. She's a trooper down there in Florida dealing with the hurricanes. She should be back tonight with Sean at 8 p.m. on Horse Center. Have on Roxanne Tanner from Louisiana Downs. She's the ambassador there. She's going to talk about all of the great things that are going on in Louisiana for the Louisiana Downs, as well as preview the Super Derby, which is coming up on September the 2nd. Should be a fantastic show. Obviously, these folks who do PR tend to be kind of lively, so I'd imagine you're going to get you'll be entertained tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear everything, but I want to know one thing: did they get any damage down there?
Maybe in Louisiana. Yeah, you can find that out. I know there were storms coming up through that way from what I saw on the storm tracker. So We'll see if that indeed works out. Hopefully, not too much damage there. I know my mom, who lives in outside of Tampa, a little bit north, Wesley Chapel, got a little bit on the outside edge of the band. She said a lot of rain, a lot of wind, but really not a whole lot of damage. So hopefully that's the case for most folks down there. Haven't had a chance to check in with Jamie. She was in a little bit more south than my mom and dad, a little bit more west. So I think the storm passed a little bit farther from her than it did for my folks, but we'll see. Last night we had on Triple Downs Farms trainer, owner, breeder, Renee Miles. That was a fun show. She talked a lot about trying to find some legacy lines out there in breeding. And I know you're big on breeding. If you like to know a little bit about breeding and perhaps an up and coming farm to keep an eye out for when the horses come, because there's some really old bloodlines. A lot of them she's trying to tie back to Secretariat. So maybe like a reemergence of a Secretariat type horse coming up, Charles.
Yeah, we kind of got away a little bit from the old school breeding. So I think there's a lot of breeders who are starting to do the same thing as she's thinking. Bring it back. Interesting.
She also, her grandfather, I think, served in the war with Joe DiMaggio and his brother Dom DiMaggio. She showed us a picture early on of Grandpa, who was an inspiration for her to go ahead and get into horse racing, because he's the bet all the time. She told a story about how Grandpa would come home and tell Grandma, "Time to make a big thing of beans because I lost all of the money at the track." Now, apparently that did not, the losing habit did not transcend or get passed down to her son, who she says is just an excellent handicapper, always seems to get trifectas. So maybe we should have him on the show and get rid of you and me.
Well, at least you.
Yeah, at least me. Yeah, sure. Then what? Then nobody would watch. All right.
Oh,
sting. How about that? That's a sting, Charles. All right, so we went through all of that. One quick thing today before we get started with our picks. Free picks today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, Canterbury Park. There is a link in the description down below. Kindly click on that. You will see, if you click on that today, the opener at Canterbury Park. Bourbon Aficionado. That might be you, Charles. I know
that's
it's
right.
In Kentucky, that's the way to go, right?
That's right. That's what you do.
Yeah, so indeed. Top pick, Canterbury Park. First post, 6:05 p.m. Eastern. So tonight, when you're thinking about what you want to bet at Canterbury Park, remember, there's a link in the description below. Head on over to Guarantee Tip Sheet. Get your picks for free and hopefully get a bunch of winners along the way.
And it looked like that Canterbury Park that I had the exacta. That's just me, 100%. Bourbon Aficionado on the exacta, Canterbury Park.
You had it win.
The man in the myth. That's me.
Oh, you're the man in the mist. Okay, yeah, I can see that. in the man in the mist, probably the second one from the left in the evolution chart.
Oh, another one.
All right. Let's get cracking on our races. We're not going to do race one. Race two, race one got canceled. They were going to jump over the hurdles. I guess they don't want to do that today, Charles.
No, a little slip and sliding.
We don't have any statistics or any data to go through our simulations, but you can tell us what they're going to do, what they're racing for, and see how we make our picks.
Yeah, well, this is a maiden race. This is why we don't have any stats on this. 6 furlongs for fillies 2-year-olds. So it's simple, just for 2-year-olds, 6 furlongs, and the purse is $136,500.
Some money at stake here, and then they wonder why they run 2-year-olds, right? Anyway, 6 furlongs. It does favor early speed. We'll find out what it favors with the track being sloppy. So far, 40% of the horses have gone wire to wire. You do get a rail bonus, 2 through 7. A little bit under par, 8 and out. Best, it's not the case today with all the scratches in here today, Charles. So in race number 2, we got the 2 out, we got the 3 out, we got the 6 out. So who's in your picks?
Well, the 1 itself, I like the 1 and 1A. They're both really nice, but I'm going to talk about the 1. The dam of this horse has 2 winners from 2 starts, and both of them are stakes horses. And Todd gets 19% with first timers, which is great. And this horse has got some solid works behind her. So I see her being very, very dangerous in this race. The 4 horse is my second choice. This is another Todd horse here. This horse ran 3rd last time out. Todd gets 20% the second time they raced for him. And this horse was well bet the first time out. So look out there. The 7 horse is my third choice. This horse ran even last time out. And like I've always said, running even as a maiden, that's okay because they learn a lot of things. Well bet last time. You get a hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days with this horse. So look out. And then the 5 horse is my final and price pick. Has speed, cuts back in distance today. Totally fits with this group, but I think they're going to have to look out for the 1 first-time starter.
And then you got an ice cold $5, huh?
That's right. Let's put up that chart there, and everyone can see that.
Oh, yes. I could put that up there. I'm sorry, Charles. You're right. I'm a little bit mixed up to start the day, but there we go.
It looks like Rich copied all my picks today.
Oh, yeah, because there's 4 horses in the field. So there you go. I'm going to copy them. You're right, Charles. It's the way it works. And then we have Melvin Torres with a pick 6 here. 1, 2, 5, 7 with the 1, 4, 2 with the 4, 5, 6 with the 3, 4, 6 and then 13, I think, on the back end right there, right? First pick 6. First pick 6. Let me just get rid of something here. It says my first six race, my choice. Okay, that's your pick 6. All right. I'm not quite sure what to make of this, Murat, because you have a lot of different things going on here. So I don't know. I know it starts to pick 6, but here you only have 4 horses. So is it pick 4? Are these your picks for race number 2 is what I'm guessing, right? And then this is your pick 6 right there. You're going to go, but that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So that must be your pick 6. I don't know what the 3, 4, 6 is about. So if you can kind of fill us in a little bit about that. And then we can get a sense of, or is this race 3, the 4 and the 6? I'm unsure what you're putting there. So maybe you can help us out a little bit. The 1 horse for me, Charles, is I think both of them are in the entries, right? So I think either entries have a good chance of winning based upon their workouts. So you're going to get 2 for 1 in a short field of 4 horses, 5 with those horses. You get 20% of the horses. You got to take them. Number 4, Before You Go, Charles's favorite song as a kid from George Michael, Wake Me Up Before You Go. Wham! He has the Wham! Posters all over his bedroom.
And have those shorts too, by the way.
I'm sure you do. The cutoff jeans with the fringes. Top last race speed figure in its debut. It does have a nice workout since Waskisui, whatever. Did show some good early fractions in its debut. 2 good workouts since to add to the stamina for this horse. One of those workouts was a bullet, maybe the upset horse in here. And then finally 5, clearly a test. Working with Charles. That's what that is. God, I hope I'm passing. I don't have any bets here, Charles, because there's only 4 horses in the field, and 2 of them are in one stall. So it's going to be tough to do, right?
Yes.
He does love himself some Wham. He can see. Can't you see Charles doing the "Wake Me Up Before You Go" dance in the mirror with those short shorts on? There he goes.
have the earring and everything. I'm all good to go.
I'm sure. In the 80s, you probably were all decked out like that. I can see it. All right, race number 3, Charles. One of them that was supposed to be on the turf ain't going to be there today.
That's right. It's not going to be on the turf today, but we're still going to have it at 5.5 furlongs on the main track. This is a maiden race for a purse of $83,000. This is for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds again.
Post time favorite day at Saratoga. So you think the post time is going to whoever the better's back on this mud is going to be the horse to back yourself because of the track conditions. 5.5 furlongs. Don't have any data at all, Charles, on the 5.5 furlongs in the dirt or on the mud. And again, it's another race in race number 3 where not enough horses with any kind of experience to go about our statistical analysis via simulation. So the only analysis we have is ours. So tell us about yours.
All right. Well, the 6 is my top choice here. This horse has some speed, and probably today that might be very beneficial. Third race after a layoff, the trainer gets 24% with that angle. Cuts back in distance today. I like that angle also. So let's look out for that 6 there. The 4 ran even last time out. Now tries the dirt, of course, because of the rain. She hit the gate on the last time out, so she got a little. She didn't run her best, but she ran even, so she learned some stuff in that race. The 7 horse is my third choice here. This horse, now this what gets me on this horse is bred 100% for turf, and as we know it, they're off the turf today, and the trainer and the owner both leave this horse in this race. So that tells me that they like what they see in the mornings. You got a hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. It does have a solid workout pattern. And then the 5 horse is my price horse here. Well bred for this race. Solid works. Looks like it totally fits.
I'm going to take you got to pick 4, Charles. So why don't you walk us through that before I go on?
Yeah, my pick 4, I'm going to take my top 3 picks here in the first leg. Second leg, my top 2 picks. My third leg, I'm going with my top 3 picks. And the fourth and final leg of this, it would be the top 2 picks in that.
I think this race is completely wide open, Charles. And with that in mind, I'm going to take an absolute flyer with the 2 horse, Alfina on top. This horse does have some really good pedigree for turf. A lot of times turf pedigree will transfer over to a sloppy track. First race on the dirt wasn't really all that good, but since then the horse had a really strong workout. I think the second fastest is 66. So it doesn't get the bullet that kind of makes it stand out. But if you look at it and you see the workouts are getting better and better. So let's see if Ms. Davis can get the job done on a bomb for us in a race where a bomb probably comes in. The 8 horse is my second choice. It's a Dream. I like the bullet workout on July 20th, and then a trio of good maintenance workouts since then. And I've noticed that a lot going through our handicapping. When you get in the little bit deeper into the workouts, you get a bullet, and then the trainer just puts enough in there to keep the horse sharp, not over the edge. Those horses tend to do pretty well in debuts. Tempting Lady, the 4 horse, top last race speed figure in its debut. Maybe a chance to improve, but really not a lot of other speed figures to compare it against. And then finally, the 1A in here, 15-1 morning line odds. It is a main track only that they wanted to be on this run if it got taken off the turf. And Irad is riding with Todd Pletcher. 15-1, ain't no way that horse is going to be 15-1, Charles. I'm going to do a pick 4, the 1A, the 2, the 4, the 6, the 8. Again, I think this race is pretty much wide open. Probably going to hope that I had your 7 when it's over. With the 3, 4, 6, 8, with the 3, 13, and then the 4 and the 7 on the back end of my trifecta, or pick 4, excuse me. Hopefully one of us gets it right. I got a feeling that opening leg, I hope that 2 hits, because that's going to be just
if that 2 hits, that'd be
bomb
for you.
Yeah. All right, so now we can do a little bit of work with for the remainder of the card. We get to do and keep an eye. Well, a couple races coming up, but anyway, tell us about race number 4, Charles.
Well, race number 4, 6.5 furlongs, allowance of 1,400. Jesus, 1,049.
149,000, Charles.
149,500. Jesus.
You're not making those. You're not making Kentucky School proud right now, my man.
Oh my goodness! Wait, well, I had too much bourbon this morning. There it is.
There you go. While you were in the mist.
Yes. Hey, bourbon in your cereal, it works. Phillies
Just
and
not
Mariners.
when you're handicapping.
No, I was totally sober for that.
Mm-hmm.
Phillies and Mariners, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $18,000 other than maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, which have never won 2 races.
I have to say, Charles, I'd probably I quit drinking a long time ago, but I'd probably start putting bourbon in my cereal too if I had to look at what you have to look at in the mirror in the morning.
Oh goodness.
Wow. That's a death shot, right? That's like a silver bullet to Dracula's heart right there, my friend.
Has anybody out there got my back on this? Because this is ruthless.
It's just an onslaught today. All right, 6.5 furlongs, the profile. And of course, I kid, right? I say I only joke with the ones you love. And if you watch Terry and I never joke with Terry. 6.5 furlongs does favor early speed. You got a bunch that go wire to wire. You have a rail penalty. 2 and 3 are under par. 4 through 7, a little bit of a bonus. So far, nobody's won from 8 and out. So taking a look at the race, we're looking for a little bit of speed here, Charles. With all the scratches, that really doesn't affect the speed that much. The 3 and the 4, they're going to get up and get after it, as you see here.
Yeah, they really are. It looks like the 3's got a 33% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. Of course, the 4 might have a say in that, a 27, 28% chance. I do think those 2 will be out there in front at the beginning of this race. The question is, are they going to hang on? The simulation odds, we have the 3 just slightly over 3 to 1. We have a morning line of 4 to 1, so it's a nice little overlay there. And that's about it when it comes to the odds. Everything's pretty tight on the odds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Aragona is one of the best line makers there is in the country. No question about that. So just a quick recap here. The sim odds are based upon 1,000 simulations using speed figures. And then if the horse in the simulation gets the maximum speed figure, it's considered the winner. Then we take that, divide the number of wins by the number of simulations to create odds. So we're looking for value. Then speed, in terms of this, who has what % chance to get the lead at the quarter mile marker. We use early pace figures, again, another 1,000 simulations. And then from that, we determine what the likelihood is a horse will have a lead at the quarter pole, because a lot of times speed wins in American racing. And then C-zone, based upon, this is our creation. Nobody else on the planet has this that I'm aware of, Charles. And based upon the early pace that we project, what's the likelihood the horse will get a race that mirrors some of its best or winning efforts? And in this case, you see Mongolian Panther has an 82% chance for this pace to match its favored running style. So look out for Mongolian Panther as a horse that could upset at a price. I like the data here. Good, Chris. We appreciate that, Mr. Parmalu. Good to see you again. If you normally join us, you'll see it. I usually give you props in these maiden races where there's a horse, and I call it the Chris P angle, that come in second in the race before. I am protesting all races where 5 or less horses, no wagers. Yeah, I don't have very many wagers in those races either today. Looking at the pace, I know, Chris Parmalu, you'll like this too for race number 4. Here you can see how this race shape sets up. The E horses are your pilots. They want to be on the lead. The 4 horse wants that. But will it have that if we look at recency bias? And the answer is no. So maybe a little bit of false early speed out of that 4 horse there, Charles. EPs can pilot or co-pilot. They're comfortable either place. Your Ps are your co-pilots, and they can only usually do their best if they're not on the front, so middle of the pack and trying to close out. And then your PC types, they're more like your flight attendants. They can be anywhere on the plane, feel comfortable. They're the most versatile horses in the group. And then finally, your closers. They sit and coach, try to wiggle their way up to first class. Your NCs, we don't see any here. They haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line as of yet, or within the last 10, of course, your first-time starters. Looking at late pace, Charles, you'll see the liquidity provider. The closer does have a little bit of giddy up and go at the end. No, it's pretty close. Total Pace, again, something I know Chris P likes. The 3-horse, Liquidity Provider, and Cupid's Heart, grading 6 points better than the next. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 3 other 6, one of them shows up in the winner's circle. Charles, what do you think?
Well, I really like the 6 in this race because I think this horse, well, it definitely has some speed to get the lead and, go wire to wire if he has to. But I think this horse could sit second or third. This horse ran second last time out. Third start after a layoff, and this trainer gets 22% with that angle, and that's a really good angle there. So I think the 6 horse is going to be very tough in this race. The 3 horse, tactical speed, does have some speed to take the lead if he wants to, which I still think it's going to be. I personally think it's the 4 that's going to go out in front, but the 3 could has a shot definitely. One is last time out. Brown gets 26%. When you rest them up 90-plus days. And, of course, you got Irad and Brown on that 3 horse. The 4 horse, well bet last time, won last time, 4 for 4 in the money this year. This horse has got consistently shows the speed. So that's why I think the 4 will be out in front. And then the 8 horse is my price horse, if you want to call a price horse on a short field. Ran third last 3 times, been knocking on that door. Third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 29% with that angle. Totally fits with this group. So look out for the 8 at the end.
Ice cold. That's going to be how people think of your bets.
Ice cold, 6-3 exactly.
For a nickel, I like the 3-horse Liquidity Provider. Been off since October. Second by a neck in its debut. So that's one indication of how the horse runs off the bench. And then the only other first race after a layoff, it won that race. Good work's getting prepped. So this is a horse that likes to get a little R&R in the barn and then go back to work, and usually works well. 6, Cupid's Heart, third up after a layoff with faster fractions at 7 furlongs than it did in the prior race at 6.5 furlongs. So I think going back to 6.5 furlongs after those faster fractions could work to its benefit here. Number 4, Little Prankster, blowout win in the maiden special weight level last on July 30th. Does have a bullet workout sense, and if it can get to the front, does have that lone E designation. And those lone E's, boy, they can grow in confidence the further and the longer they stay on the lead. Then finally, number 8, Mongolian Panther. All of its race internals last time out, the early pace, mid pace, late pace numbers improved. Third start after a layoff, our good friend Charles's favorite handicapping angle. And the only other time the horse made it 3 races in a row, the third, was considerably the best of the batch. No bets for me because I'm like you, Charles. I'm protesting these short races by not putting any wagers on them. I want to say thank you to everybody real quick. Yesterday, we hit a milestone, Charles, 4,000 subscribers here on YouTube.
Yay.
But that doesn't mean we don't want more. Only 1 out of 10 people hit the subscribe button, folks. So don't be a loser. Be a winner. Hit the subscribe button while you're here. Follow us on all of our social sites below. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Our Swiss Army Sean does a fantastic job of keeping up some fresh content over there. Win-win today. I agree with you. So real quick, our friend Christopher D'Souza in race 4, he's going to go with the 2, 3, 4 exacta trifecta box with the 4 horse pegged as his winner, like Melvin Torres says. Race number 5, Charles, is next up on our docket on this 9 race card, with race number 1 getting nixed. What's happening in the 5th race?
Well, in the 5th race, we are going off the turf. So we are running a mile on the main track, optional claiming of 62,500. And this is non-winners of 1. This is for a purse of $149,000. There's some really nice purses here, but wait till tomorrow at Kentucky Downs.
That's stakes money right there.
Geez. For 3-year-olds, which have never won, 18,000 other than maiden claiming starter, state bred allowance, which have never won 2 races, or optional claiming price of 62,500.
And as you mentioned, this race is off the inner turf, but it's on the dirt. There's a whole bunch of 1-mile races today on the main course because of all of the turf scratches. So at a mile, you're looking for tactical speed, but 24% of the time they do go wire to wire. There is a little bit of a rail bonus, but the rail horse Rambling Wreck is not going to be running here. 2 through 7 play fair. So far, there have been no winners from 8 and out, Mr. Charles. So in race number 5 on 1 mile on the sloppy dirt track, you probably want a little bit inside speed, and you're sure going to find some today.
Yeah, you're definitely going to find some there today. The 3 horse, the 42% chance, and after all these scratches, especially with the 9 being out, it's going to raise that percentage much higher. I do believe the 3 will be out there winging it in the beginning, especially the first quarter. The question is, can he hang on? The simulation odds, I don't know if we're going to have anything because all these scratches here, but
nothing.
Geez, how much?
Nothing.
Nothing.
But we do get one good one in here in terms of a couple good ones in here in terms of C-zone scores. Kijali, the 11 horse, 83%, grading out as number 1. The 15, Signature, another one with a really strong chance to get a pretty good trip today. We'll see if indeed that does play out. Our pace sheets show us an interesting race. We do have one horse in here that I like to call a Sesame Street horse, the 16 horse, Midnight Trouble. It is unlike all of the others in here, says the lone PC. If this group of 5, these handful go too fast early on, the horse could sit right behind that wall of speed. If they go too slow, he can probably work his way towards the front. So a lot of versatility. Otherwise, you got a lot of speed up front here, so you better be quick. With 5 out of the 9 horses wanting to be on the lead. The 3 and the 11, those 2 will be most likely your pace setter. 7 points better than the 16 horse. So the PC should sit right behind that wall of speed. If it's got some late legs, might be able to do some damage, but unfortunately, it seems like it doesn't. Those late legs belong to Gilmore, who's likely to be a very heavy favorite in here, Charles. Gilmore also, I think, grades out as your top total pace horse, 8 points better than a trio with the 3, the 11, and the 15. Charles, I noticed you have the 13 on top. I'm going to try to beat him, but why am I not going to be successful?
Well, because I don't know if you're not going to be successful. This is a good little race, but the 13 drops in class today. Ran even last time out. They add the Lasix, and this might be the key to the 13 right here. They add in Lasix. Walsh gets IRAD aboard, so that should be a really nice combo there. So, that's what I think is edging it over the 15 is the adding of the Lasix. Mm-hmm. The 15 is my second choice here. The second start after a layoff, the trainer gets 18% with that angle. This is his second start with Lasix. This horse has some tactical speed. It should be sitting really close and make one big run. Then the 3 horses, the speed horse. I have a little doubts that the 3 will hang on at the end. Mm-hmm. The 3 will be out there by himself most likely. Trainer gets 13% second time when he puts him in a route. This horse does cut back in distance, but still the question mark is the distance itself. The 10 horse is my final and price pick here. This horse tries dirt today. You got Todd and Tyler combo. Should be a good combo there. Has that tactical, but more on the closing side of things on speed-wise. So should make an interesting race overall.
So, Charles, I'm not too worried about the 3 hanging out up top there because he does have 3 really nice workouts since its last race. So that should help it with its endurance. It's going to be the inside speed horse. It's going to be the pace setter in here. If you can get away with some easy-ish fractions, which probably won't happen, but if it can get away with easiest fractions, good shot to go wire to wire. I feel like considering that the 13 horse Gilmore is going to be a very heavy favored in here, which is going to drop after running 6 consecutive stakes races in a row, 4 of the last 4 of which were graded stakes. That one's going to get all the money, the 13 horse. So I'm going to try to beat it with that 3. The 11 horse is another one I hope that does show up today. Kijali should be up front, probably chasing right behind the 3 horse, perhaps. The best of its races so far have come when it's been fresh, like today. So a little bit of time away. So let's see if we can get up to the front and stay up there as well. And then the 15 horse Signature. Every single race, this horse has improved. And if it gets better here today, Charles, this one could graduate as well. For me, I'm going to try to beat them all with the upfront speed. We'll see if it works. Small trifecta key. The 3 over the 11 to 13 and the 15. Because if I threw the key box in there, then Terry would be all over me for overspending because that would up the cost. Right?
Yeah, that would cost pretty good.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good one. So I don't want to give Terry a reason to break out the ruler and crack my knuckles. Race number 6, Charles, not on the turf, so they're going to run on the dirt.
Yes, it's going to be 7 furlongs, but this is a claiming price of 12.5. We didn't see too many of these here at Saratoga. They're pretty rare. Purse is $36,000. This is for 4-year-olds and upward.
And then for race number 6, the kind of horse that typically does well at 7 furlongs, has tactical speed, a little more than a quarter of them win from gate to wire, a little bit of a rail discount. So winning drive might have its work cut out for it. It'd be interesting to see, with the track being wet, which lane the horses want to be in, if the water puddles by the rail or how they're working that. 2 through 3 and 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out has been the best. So a little bit of accordion action there, Charles. You're looking for speed, not necessarily totally on the inside, but it doesn't hurt in race number 6. And, well, that outside speed, there you go.
There you go. Look at that. 7. But basically 74% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. And, you know, it could probably be true on this race. The 2 might try to push along a little bit, but I see that 7 out there winging it. Our simulation odds, we have the 2 at just under 5 to 1. We got morning line 12 to 1. That's a nice overlay.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 5, 3 to 1. You got a morning line of 6 to 1. That's a good little overlay too.
And then super catch, one more.
Yeah, one more. We got 3 in this race. This is great.
The trifecta there of overlays.
Yeah, 5 to 1, and you got 8 to 1 morning line there. So that's good. A couple of nice overlays.
And then you can do the C-Zone Exacta box with the 6 and the 9, because those 2 are grading way out over everybody else. That duo is likely to get the most comfortable trip out of all of them. And they got some nice prices on them to go to boot. Yeah, once again, Charles, we have a horse here that's a Sesame Street horse. Unlike all of the others, off to the left by itself with super catch. EP type, so can pilot or co-pilot. Doesn't necessarily need to lead, but probably wants to be close to it. Otherwise, everybody else is middle or all closers. So I think in this race shape, you're going to want a horse that's probably 2nd or 3rd early on, maybe 4th. Looking at that early speed, that print track is going to be the one that's on the lead. Digital Future, Money Mike. You got a little left arrow horse going on there with a closer. That's normal early speed, is going to put it in contention. If it has the late speed to maintain, could be an upset. But the strongest of the closers is the 5 horse. First Deputy, no more talk. Ghost Giant sitting right behind in there, but pretty tightly bunched coming home. Top total pace horse is the speed horse in there. Print Track with the 171 score. Although everybody but the 1, the 8, and the 2 looks like they have a chance in this race. So this one's kind of wide open, Charles. So how did you decide it?
Yeah, it is another kind of open race. I like this. I like the 4 here. This horse ran 3rd last time out. Picks up IRAD, drops in class today. Has that tactical speed as we just saw. More on the closing side though. But this horse should be right there. He should, as long as he keeps this horse close to the pace and sits about 3rd or 4th, this horse should be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 horse is my second choice here. This horse drops in class. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 20% with that angle. And also the trainer gets 21% when he drops him down 2 or more levels. And then the 1 horse is my 3rd choice. Another one that drops in class. Here's your closer. This one will be closing. Then you got a hot jockey trainer combo in the last 14 days. And then my interesting price horse is the 6. Now, the 6 is back on dirt. This horse has never even hit the board when on the dirt, but it's been so long ago. The trainer's going for it. The trainer drops this class majorly into a 12.5. They take it off turf, and Pratt's aboard, and Pratt stays on. So there's a lot of things here saying, you know, this horse might be ready to rock and roll, but it's also probably a fire sale too. So who knows with that horse? Dunk is the trainer, so he's a good trainer, so he knows what he's doing. He's not just winging it out there.
All right, so you have a pick 5. They're about to go in the gates for race number 1. So for me, real quick, or race number 2, excuse me, I got the 7 Pin Track, top last race speed figure, better race internals from beginning to end of its last race, upped its speed figure in the last 2, and likely going to be on front. A lot of reasons to think that horse can do well. No more talk, very consistent performer from that 4 horse, going to drop in class here. Digital Future, the 3-horse, all or nothing on dirt, 5 times out, a couple of wins. Going to drop a couple of classes here. Could be more of a turf horse, but let's see if the horse actually takes to a wet track. Finally, number 5, First Deputy. Really difficult for me to pick whatever horse goes into this spot. Actually, in all but the top 2 in there. Probably the most consistent horse in the field. Big fan of Trevor McCarthy on horses that run late like this one. I'm going to go to double here, 4-7 with the 3-5-10, 3-5-10 and 12 in the next leg. And Christopher in this race number 6, Christopher D'Souza, he likes the 5 to win with the 5-9-3 exacta box. Race number 2 for a pick 3 for JT Brew coming up. He likes the 4 with the 5-8 and all. And I really do like JT's approach to all on the back end of these vertical bets. Just taking a pick 4 down to a pick 3, taking a pick 3 down to a double. So if you get through it, you know you're going to come home. One quick note there about race number 2, Charles. Looking at the screen, it's become very sunny there. It looks like it's kind of warm. Yep. So I would expect, and just looking at the track, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of moisture in it, Charles. So I wouldn't be shocked to see if the track gets upgraded at some point today to it's already gone from sloppy to muddy. So I think you'll probably see it go to wet fast or fast at some point in the not too distant future.
Yeah, it depends on how deep that rain got into that track, but I have a feeling they sealed it last night.
Well, it said on the screen it was sealed.
It was? Okay.
So right now in the race number 2, the 1-1A combo is 3 to 5. No surprise there. 2 out of you got 2 horses out of 5 in the field, and then 2 out of 4 in terms of entries. So 25% of the horses. And then the 4 horse is your second choice, then the 7, and then the 5. So, they say when we had on Scott Fielder, who wins a lot of handicapping contests, and these short fields take the longest price. So according to Scott Fields, the 5 horse might be the one that you want to bet on in here, just from a betting standpoint. As the race gets cooking, the 4 horse Charles has taken the lead with the 7 to its outside. Waskisui or whatever. And then the 1 horse, the 1A horse, Emery, is trailing behind those 2 on the tail of the 7. Looks like it wants to try to go 3 wide. The 7 has just powered its way past the 4 horse and to go through the turn. Now the 1A horse is moved alongside the 4. It too has gone by. The 1 has decided it wants to join the fray because the 4 horse looks like it might be done racing for this day. The 1 is now moved into, I don't know, maybe the 4 is going to try to come back up on the rail there. It's tough to say. It looks like he wanted to get off the rail. 7 horse maintains the lead there, Charles, but the 1A Emery has just nudged up alongside. Probably going to go by the 1A Emery. They're duking it out, though. The 5 horse has moved its way up onto the rail for 3rd, probably, Charles, although the 4 horse does look like it's getting a little bit more life here. Second wind as they come down the stretch. But the 1A is your romp winner, followed by the 7, then the 4, and then the 5. So there you go, folks. 3 to 5 opener on the 1A in a short field. I mean, it's probably I don't know. I couldn't bet it. So wasn't for me, Mr. Charles. I agree with Charles on that respect. So what did we just finish, Charles? Race number what? 6? All right. So now we're going to go off to race.
Yeah, we're on 6. I think we were just going through my bets, though.
On race 6? No, I think we finished them all because that's the one where you have the pick 4, right?
Pick 5.
Pick 5, yeah. So yeah, we did finish that up. Yeah. All right, 3 races to go. Well, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 races to go, Mr. Charles. Starting in race number 7. So the late pick 4 here. You mentioned there's not a lot of claiming 12 5s, and there's another one. Oh, this is race. I got the wrong race there.
Oh, race 7. No,
all right, race 7. Yes, there you go. After all that, there we go.
Race 7 was originally on the turf, and now it's going 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track, and it's for a purse of $136,500. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. So it's on the main track 1 mile and 1/8, people. Are you there? Looks like we lost Rich. It's frozen there, so we'll give him a second to get back because we have plenty of time here. It's all frozen up. All right. Well, let's see what we got here in race 7. We call and see what he's doing here. All right. Anyway, we're going to get back here on race 7. Race 7 is now 1 1/8. Originally was scheduled for 1 3/16 on the turf. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. In this race, it's when you scratch all these horses that go from turf to dirt, it really makes it a scramble here. In the 7th race here, though, the 10 horse, I really like this horse a lot, though. This horse ran second the last 2 times. You got Irad and Todd, tactical speed here. So I think this horse would be very dangerous in this race. The 9 is trying their dirt today. Brown gets 24% when he 46 plus days of rest. They're adding the blinkers today, so why not on this horse? Sometimes the blinkers really helps them focus on what they want to do and gets a little bit more speed out of them. And then the 5 horse adds the blinkers and Lasix today. Both things. Weaver, which is, in my opinion, is an excellent trainer. He always sends them out ready to go. He gets 18% when he rests them up 90 plus days. So it totally fits here. And this horse is from France. So I think he's got this horse ready to rock and roll. If he's keeping it on the dirt, that means he's seen something that he likes. When this horse has been running nothing but on turf, that's what we're going to get there. My final price horse here is the 16. The horse ran 3rd last time out. He got some tactical speed. 3rd start after a layoff. McPeak gets 14% with that angle there. And I'm going to call Rich and see where we're at, what's going on here.
All right, Charles. I don't know what the hell happened there. It just went blank on me.
That's all right. I'm used to you going blank.
It just completely went out, and then I was trying to come in on my phone, but I have a new computer, so because if you were here last week, mine crashed, and I had to go get a new computer, and we were gone all last week. I automatically have my phone set up in the other one as a backup in case that happens. I didn't set it up, and my eyes are bad, and there's a V and a V next to each other. So I thought it was a W, and I kept putting a W in there, and it's a VV. So now I got it set up right. Yes, Chris, I will call the race like I mean it. It was your comment that threw me off right there, right? Charles handled it like a pro. Live YouTube TV on Horse Racing Radar TV.
That's right. Live TV, just keep going.
So what did you do anyway?
Well, what I did is I was explaining how bad of a host you are and everything. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I second that, Charles. That's all right.
No, I went on and I gave my picks and why, and then I tried calling you to see if you were still alive.
Yeah, and then I knew it was your number, and when it calls, it says scam likely with your number.
Oh, well, that's probably all true too.
All right, so since you gave your picks, let's just run through real quick the data in race number. So I know it's a mile now, or mile and a 16th on
mile and an eighth.
Yeah, on the dirt course. We don't have any data for that, but in race number 7, Charles, if you're looking for speed, Machiavellique, that one probably up there. She's Mo Bubbly. Also some strong C-zone scores with those two. Our pace set up for race number 7. The 5 horse is a lone E over there, Charles, coming from overseas. But when I went through the numbers on data on that one, it could be up front, it could be in the back. It's probably a little bit more versatile than that. As far as your total pace is concerned, pretty tight race in here from the top 2. She's Mobley Paris style. All right, I'll go ahead and do my picks in here. Charles with the 10 horse is my top choice, just like you, because you copied me. She's Mo Bubbly, top last race speed figure. That was the first race after a layoff. The only other time the horse made it 2 races in a row, that second race was a much improved effort over the first one. Absolute Control. That horse had a couple of soft runs in France at some of their top tracks. That's one of the great things about doing Foreign Fridays with my good friend 22-1 Tom, who will join Charles and I tomorrow for Kentucky Downs. Does have a bullet and go. So the last workout on the dirt course for Absolute Control was a bullet. So maybe that horse gets to the front. Peristyle, last time out, ran in the mud, like the track is listed now. By far its best effort. And then finally, Taciturn, the 9 horse, decently bet in its debut, went to the bench, and in between that debut and today's had some good workouts. Pick 4 for me: 5, 10, 16, the 8, 9, 5, 11, 8, 14, 15, and 16 on the back end. Charles, this race completely screwed up by all the scratches for me.
Yeah, there was actually a couple. Yeah, this was one of them. Was definitely one of the worst ones. But I'm going with my top 2 picks as my pick 4. In my pick 5, I had another pick and stuff in there on this race, but I'm switching things around and trying to take advantage of it. I have my top 2 picks here, top 4 in the second leg, top 3 in the third and the final 4th leg.
And then Melvin, he has a late pick 4 as well. He's got the 3 with the this is race 3. Okay. 2, 4, 6 with the 3, 4, 6, 8 with the 13 with the 3, 17, 9. So that's the pick 4 coming up in about, that all crashed on me too there, huh? That's a beautiful thing. Race number 3 coming up in about, let's see.
I'll look that up.
21 minutes. So we'll be done probably by the time that gets started in there. Also has a pick 6, race 5, 13, 3, 4, 5, 10, 5, 6, 8. 1, 4, 5, 7, and the 14 and the 15 on the back end. All right, Charles, let's continue on like pros, as you are, according to our good friend Chris Parmalu, the 8th race.
Okay, in the 8th race, we got another race at a mile, optional claiming, 62,500, non-winners of 2. The purse is 156,000. Love these purses today.
Do you feel like they did that because they know Kentucky Downs is coming up to stop all the horses from heading out of Saratoga the last week?
Partially, yeah, and that's why they had a lot of turf races too. So kind of backfired on them, unfortunately. But they have way overfilled. The fields at the Kentucky Downs are full big time. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 18,000. Twice, other than maiden claiming starter state bred allowance, which have never won 3 races or an optional claiming price of 62,500.
And 1 mile, as we talked about before a couple of times, because of all these scratches, moving races off to a mile on the dirt course. 24% of the time they get the lead, they keep the lead, and they hit the tape first. Get a little bit of a rail bonus. So She's Cold as Ice, Charles's favorite betting strategy, gets a little bit of a bonus. 2 through 7 play fair. So far, nobody's managed to score from 8 or out. Charles, of course, all my picks are 8 or out in race number 8, but a couple of scratches brings them in to line. Looks like Leave No Trace might leave no trace behind it when the gates open.
Yeah, that 5's got a 57% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole and might not look back, but there is a couple of horses I think will keep check, and personally, I think it's between the 6 and the 8 will probably keep that horse in check. Might even get the leads themselves. Guess simulation odds here. We got just the 8 at just slightly over even money, and we got a 4-1 morning line. That's a good little overlay.
Our pace worksheet for the 8th race looks like this. Look at the 8 and the 6. They want to be up on the front, particularly 8. The 8 Tizzy in the Sky wants to be the leader, the pilot. The 6 can be pilot or co-pilot. So the 8 might be a little bit lead dependent. Doesn't look like it's going to get the lead. Looks like Olga Isabel or the 5, one of those PC types. The flight attendant to kind can be up there as well. Late speed belongs to the 8-horse Tizzy in the Sky. So if Tizzy is comfortable, maybe not running on the lead and proves a little bit more versatile today, it could, or if it gets the lead, might have the late speed to stay out there. It'd be difficult to pass what you can't catch. As far as total pace is concerned, you have 3 horses, the 8, the 5, and the 6. A little bit better than the rest of the field. Only the 1, She's Cold as Ice, doesn't look like it fits here. So maybe you can X out that 1, Charles. Look at the rest, but maybe eye towards the 5, 6, or 8. How about you?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just a tough race. I like the 4. This horse ran 3rd last time out. Cuts back in distance. Well bet last time. They're adding the blinkers today, so which means, like I said in the last race, they want them to focus a little bit more. Sometimes it gets them a little bit more speed. And you got Pratt and Brown combination there, so a lot of good things about that 4-horse to like there. Like I said, I think the 6 or the 8 might be out on the lead, and the 6 does have that speed. Won last time out, well bet last time. Second start after a layoff. Cox gets 27% with that angle, so look out there. And then the 8-horse, like I also said, that one has speed. You got Irad and Todd combo there. You could never look back on that. Drops in class today. And Ben Todd also gets 22% when you rest them up 90-plus days. So you got a really nice fresh horse here on that 8. And then my price horse will be the 5, which they're saying is the speed horse. Last time this horse ran, you got to toss that race out. Just toss it out. They're adding the Lasix today, which I think could have been the problem there for that horse in that race. Probably bled. Tactical speed, has the speed to go to the front, totally fits with this group.
And then I like the 8-horse in here as my top choice in race number 8. I like when they line up with the race number. I don't know, it's just one of those weird things that I actually like. It is a pretty good overlay here too. It looks like 8-5 compared to morning line 4-1. Going to drop back from a grade 3 last time it raced in November. Going to switch to the Todd Pletcher barn, which I think is a plus there. Has speed and okay works getting ready. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this one right off the pace and then maybe use those late legs in the new barn to score. First race out for Mr. Pletcher. Pretty Extreme, the 9-horse, smoked around the track last time out in its first race at Saratoga. This was the top last race. Speed figure claimed by trainer Robert Falcone Jr., who wins 27% off of the claim. And if he wins this one, Charles, you know how many wins it will be for him at Saratoga this meet?
1.
He's 0 for 17, cold barn. So maybe he bought this one with the hopes of winning. Absolute Alpha Angle, 27% compared to 0. Number 4, Signal from Noise. I guess a little bit of a nod to the Steve Bannon podcast. Noticeable that Irad gets off to ride the 8-horse because he rode the 4-horse before. Never made it 2 in a row without a break. And I think shortening up in distance here probably helps that guy. And then finally, number 3, Tough Street, won his last race in the slop. The great track might upgrade the fast by then. But like today, the CV or resume says look for more in round 2 off the bench. I'm going to go trifecta 8, 9, 4, 8, 9 with the 3, 4, 6, 8, and 9 in race number 8. Let's see if we move on to comment here, and we have race 8, Christopher D'Souza coming in with the 5-horse with the 5-1-4 exacta and trifecta box. 2 races to go, Mr. Charles. We'll get them both in the books before race number 3 gets started. Hopefully we can get them both in the books and then watch race number 3 and then head on out and get ready for tomorrow at Kentucky Downs. Race number 9, we're going to get prepped for that. Charles, what are they going to run for here?
Okay, well, originally scheduled for the turf, and this one's off the turf. And instead of going a mile on the 16th, they are now going to go 1 mile.
For like the umpteenth time today?
Yeah, 1 mile on the main track. But this is for Phillies 2-year-olds. So this is a good little race for them to stretch their legs. And it's a non-graded stakes race for a purse of $150,000.
In some of the claiming races, they had purses, and the allowance had purses like that today. I think so it's a pretty heavy day. I got a feeling these purses are bigger because they didn't want horses to get into the truck and head on down to, what is it, Franklin, Kentucky? Is that where?
Kentucky, yeah.
How far is that from you?
About 2 hours, right at 2 hours.
2 hours. Ton of scratches in here, Charles. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 horse field. With that 5 horse field at a mile, as we talked about before a couple of times, you're looking for some tactical speed, early speed, 24% wire to wire, get a little bit of a rail bonus in there. You also get 2 through 7 playing fair. Nobody's 1 from 8 now. We don't have 8 horses here. So just looking at the race shape, Charles, the speed kind of stuck around, it looks like.
Yeah, all the speed stayed in the race. So that makes it very interesting, especially as the day goes on. Like you said, the track's going to change too. So we got to keep an eye on that, people, because if it gets too deep or too clay, the speed might not hang on. And if it goes to, that wet fast, then it will be very fast for all these guys. So the 1 and the 4 and the 9 all going to be battling it out. They all have about the same percentage, 28, 27% chance each. So look out for all 3 of them winging it. And when it comes simulation odds, we'll just go down to the 11 horse, just slightly under 2 to 1. And we got a morning line of 3 to 1. That's a nice little overlay.
Yeah, and all the speed stayed in and all the C-zones horses stayed in. So all of those horses are comfortable being up front. They all can't be up front, Charles. Unfortunately, only one of them, unless they dead heat out of the gate all the way around the track. Despite all of that speed numbers in there, none of them are really true speed horses. The 9 horse, Take Me to the Beach, sounds like a fantastic idea to me, Charles. That one is the EP type, but not going to be on the leader. The 1 horse in there, Magic Cross. But you look at those top 4 horses, the 1, the 9, the 5, the 4, they're all within a point or 2 of each other. Much like the simulation says, they're all going to get out. They're all going to battle each other. Let's see if that quartet goes too fast and opens the door up. And it probably will for this 11 horse, because look at that late pace advantage over everybody else, Charles. What is that? 25 points next. So that's 5 lengths better down the lane than any of the next horses. And it's really not going to be all that far off, probably 2 lengths off the lead, maybe 3 at the most. And with that late pace can make up 5. Pretty good chance that this horse is just going to storm by everybody and run away with it. And that's what the total pace says too. 12 points better than the next closest horse. So this race looks like the 11's race structurally. Its in-race advantage is huge. The speed advantage that the other horses needed to kind of overcome that is not there. That's why you have the 11 up top.
Well, yes, but then once again, it goes back to what I said originally right before we got talking about this race. Depends on that track at this time of the day. And the 9th race, it's going to change. So everyone keep an eye on that. If Speed's winning, the 11's going to have a hard time closing that gap, because he's going to be pretty far back, or she's going to be pretty far back. If not, if it's playing neutral or the Speed's dying off there on the lead, you got to go after that 11 big time. So I got the 11 on top. One last time out. Well bet. Todd gets 23% non-graded stakes horses. The 1 horse is my second pick. It's another horse that will be coming at the end and has a nice, even tactical speed there, I believe. I think this horse could sit there around 3rd and make one good run. Drops in class. Mott gets 22% in non-graded. And then the 5 horse, this horse won last time out, has some tactical speed, should sit probably more like back there with the 11 back there, probably 4th or 5th. But this horse moves up in class today, so there's the big question mark there. But it did win last time out, and you got to take a shot here. And then the 9 horse, another speed horse, I think that'd be out there winging it. Won last time out, totally fits with this group, so watch what the track is doing.
Indeed. I like the 5 horse as my top selection in here. Dancing Spirit improved a lot in its second start. If it shows similar step forward here, but I think the 5 horse Dancing Spirit kind of hard to beat. Ms. Sense, that 11 horse, talked about all the reasons why in the pace setup this one could be hard to beat. Everybody else wants to be up front. Won't be that far off the lead. Huge stakes caliber late pace with this horse. This one should, I think it's probably your winner, but I don't think it's going off at 3 to 1, or I don't think it's going off at 6 to 5 either. I think probably 4 to 5 type horse. Number 1, Magic Cross, did run the top last race speed figure, and that's going to drop in class from a pedestrian effort in a grade 3 last out. Then finally, the 9 horse, Take Me to the Beach, could challenge for the front. did go wire to wire in its debut. That was on all weather. Let's see if it translates to a wet track today. I'm going to do a double here with the 5-11, with the 7, 8, 14, 15, and 16, foreshadowing what I have coming up in the next leg. See what Christopher D'Souza and others like here. Christopher in race number 9 going to go for the bet of the day with the 5-horse, championing my pick, probably his, or maybe I looked at his computer. Now I don't know what happened to Charles. Everybody's just disappearing today. What the hell?
I'm right here. You know what you did is you just signed me off. You're like, I'm going to make that fool go away.
I'm glad that you had the Freudian slip there on the self-awareness, Mr. Final race of the day is race number 10. So we've made our way through this clunky show and all the technology and kicking me out and the internet, and Charles just up and disappearing. All right. What's going on in the last race of the day?
Okay. Last race of the day was supposed to be on turf, mile 16th, but guess how far they're going to go on the main track?
If I had to guess, I would go with 1 mile.
1 mile it is.
Am I right?
Yes, you are.
All right.
Maiden claiming of $40,000. So open up your wallet and you can go and grab one of these horses for $40,000. Purse is for $50,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward that were foaled in the state of New York.
Nice. All right. So for the last time at a mile, we've heard it 1,000 times, I think, today. Early speed, 24%, wire to wire. If you're on the rail, social sidekick. Maybe you get a little bit of an edge, but I don't know. Maybe the horse doesn't fit here. You get 2 through 7 play fair, a little bit of a real bad advantage. Nobody's won from 8 or out. With all the scratches today, I don't even know if we have 8 horses in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minus. We have 9 horses in there, Charles. So I'm just, and Uncle Marty might have a difficult time on the outside, but outside of that, I think it'll be fine. And it looks like the speed all scratched out. So who the hell knows who's going to get the lead here?
Yeah, honestly, who knows really who's going to really take the lead? I mean, could be the 14, in my opinion, or the 15. Those two do have speed, and they're on the outside. Maybe want to try to get in. So other than that, I have no other clue who's going to take the lead. No one's ever shown anything like that. Simulation odds, though, I could tell you that the one, right now we have it at 9-1, and the morning line is 15. Good luck there. We're not going to see 15 probably with this short field. And that's about it. Yeah.
All right. And then for the last time, our sheet here says the 12 and the 14 might be the ones that want to be on the lead. For the first time, we're seeing the never close horses. The 1, the 2, the 8, and the 13, they have not been within 5 lengths of the leader in their limited experience. Today might be a little bit different. So in this race shape, a bunch that don't finish well, a bunch that want to close. If the 12 or the 14 has any speed, it could be difficult to run down in this place. And there you got the 14, Atlanta's Acuna, a tremendous baseball player. He does have the most early speed, followed by I'm Just, the 15 horse. So that closer now becomes a left arrow horse. Charles moves over here with the late legs, perhaps to finish off the job. Perfect outcome, the never close horse, but might be 5, 6 lengths off. Can make up a length on some of these horses here. Don't know that he'll have enough ground, enough time to finish off how far it'll be behind, but maybe comes into the back end of your exactas, trifectas, superfectas. Your total pace horse is the 14, Atlanta's Acuna, 5 points better than the Uncle Marty, Tomorrow, and I'm Just. So the 14, the 15, the 16, and the 8. Charles, those 4 total pace wise might predict the winner, and I have them all in my picks. What about you?
I don't have the 14, but talking about a crazy race, I like the 15 a lot, though, overall in this race, because this horse does have set up that he has the best tactical speed. So whoever wants to go out there to the front, 12, 14, maybe even the 15, who knows, could do a good job out on that front end. Ran third last time out. You got Rosario and Clement combo. It's even a better combo on turf, but they're off the turf. But this horse drops in class also. So there's a lot of things to like with that 15. So I'm going to go with that 15. The 8 ran even last time out. Drops in class today. Pratt's now aboard, not Jose Ortiz, by the way. Pratt is Pratt and Rice combo, not a bad combo. Rice gets 18% second time on a route race. And I think it's Rice and Brown is in the trainer running, right? Who's the top trainer at the meet?
Probably, yeah. I would say so. She's won just about everything.
Well, Brown's been doing very well. I think Brown
he always does well, right?
I think he had 3 wins over her going into this week. I think the 12 horse is my third choice here. This horse ran second last time out. That's another Clement runner. Clement gets 19%, 90 plus days. There's some trainers out there that just have that total knack of they can have a long layoff and still come back running. Back on dirt today for this horse. And then the 7 horse is my price horse. This horse ran third last time out. Second start after a layoff. Trainer gets 18% with that angle. And today we get a 5-pound allowance. So maybe in this type of race, there's not much speed or the speed is not proven, the 5 pound might come in very handy there.
Could be the difference maker in there. I'm going to go with the 15 horse, just like you, Charles. I'm just maiden special weight dropper bullet workout on August the 20th, 3 furlongs, 35-1. That's quick. So I think they're going to send this horse to the front today. Atlanta's Acuna, the 14 horse there, could be the pace setter, Charles, with a really strong C-zone score in there. And also the top total pace horse in there. So a lot to like about the 14 from our proprietary data standpoint. Number 16, Uncle Marty, is another maiden special weight dropper in here. 2 trips on off dirt would likely be good enough to get the job done versus all of these. Finally, number 8, Utamaro. It's yet another maiden special weight dropper in this class. Trainer Linda Rice, as you mentioned, trying to get the top trainer award there. 38% on the maiden special weight to maiden claiming drop. And that's not just 3 out of 8. That is in 48 races, Mr. Charles. So that's, I think, 18 out of 48. Not bad at all. So I'm going to go trifecta 14, 15, 16 over to 14, 15, over to 7, 8, 14, 15, 16. And you mentioned that top trainer award, Charles. Do you think that they would drop a horse maybe into a level that they might not otherwise do if the top trainer award wasn't at stake?
Oh, definitely.
So you think they might make decisions here to get that award that they might not make otherwise? They
definitely do that. And of course, you got to get the blessing of the owner, but most of those owners are backing up their trainer no matter what. So for them to win a title, especially at a Saratoga or a Del Mar or a Keeneland, those 3 meets are really the ones they want to put in their
trophy case.
Yeah.
Indeed. All of our picks for today look like this. Again, race 1 was canceled today because the early races off the turf. Race number 3 is about to get started. Before race 3 gets started, let's do a little more house cleaning again. Again, tonight on Horse Center, 8 p.m., Jamie should have weathered the hurricane down there in Tampa. She should return tonight with Sean, with Roxanne Tanner, who is the ambassador for Louisiana Downs. They'll talk all about the Super Derby coming up on September the 2nd and more of what's happening at Louisiana Downs. Charles, you can chime in about what sort of damage, if any, they took from the recent hurricane down there. Again, tonight, before Horse Center, if you want to get on and maybe make a few bucks at Canterbury Park, our free picks at Guaranteed Tip Sheet are in the description down there below. Bourbon aficionado, especially in his Cheerios. That is our man Charles over there as the top pick. But he's also the man, the myth. The man and the myth. I thought you said mist, Charles.
No.
Maybe a little bit of a slur from your bourbon breakfast in there.
Probably was.
Indeed. So race number 3, they're about to line up into there. Charles, let's pull up our screen here for race number 3 as to what we like. And again, another race where it's all a bunch of horses that are just getting started. I got a lot of coverage to start my pick 4. I hope the longest shot in there. Playing this pick 6 today. All right, Bobby, what pick 6 do you got? Put the number out there. Let us know. So what you're playing there. We always appreciate comments. We always appreciate thumbs up, likes. The likes help us with the algorithms on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google, all of the above. Another thing that you can do for us too is if you go to the YouTube page, you'll see right below let's see, I can pull it up here. You'll see right below the actual screen where we are chatting away right now. You'll see a button in here. I'll pull this one up and here. And you'll see the share button down here. If you hold on, you won't see that share button if I don't show it. You see the share button right here. If you click on that share button, hit this copy button and kindly paste that in your social sites and share it with your friends and family who like horse racing as well. It's a heck of a way to help the show, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's something we greatly, greatly appreciate. All right, Charles, race number 3 about to get started, right? Race number 3 likes the 8 to win.
Wow, they made the 1A big favorite.
So in race 3 right now, you have the 1A at 8 to 5, down from 15 to 1, Charles. How about that? That was that horse with Pletcher and Irad, remember?
Yeah.
And then he wanted to be on the main track.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they wanted to do that, right? I hope he doesn't win, to be honest with you, at 15 to 1. I hope that my 2-horse wins. And right now, it looks like what are they running here? 5.5 furlongs. Looks like the 6 broke the sharpest.
4 and the 6.
Yeah, the 6 did break the sharpest. Then you got the 4. Then the 9. My 2's hanging in there at 31 to 1, Charles. Hopefully that one can come in. That 6 horse tends to fade. At 4 to 1, I'll take it on top of a pick 4, right? For sure.
Yeah, of course.
21 and 8, 21 and 9. That's a little on the fast side, I feel like, Mr. Charles.
Yeah, well, it depends how that track's playing right now. If that could be normal right now.
Yeah, right now it looks like
it's cruising.
Yeah, he's running pretty easily.
Yeah, I think you're going to have.
I think the 4 horse is starting to close on him a little bit. I think you can, as our friend, as the announcer here at the White Sox game, Hawk Harrelson says, I think you can put the 6 on the board. Yes. So your top pick, the 6 horse coming home, although the 4 horses give him a little scare at the end there.
No, he ain't going to give him.
But it's going to go 6, 4, 9, 8, I think. 6, 4, 9, 8, it looks like in the second race there. So we both move forward. I would imagine a lot of people had the 6, though, on their tickets right there, Mr. Charles, even though Did you disappear now?
What was the final No, I didn't. I'm there.
The final odds was 6 to 1.
The final time on that race.
Let's see. I don't know. 105 and 1.05.06.
Yeah.
So 1 minute, 5 seconds, and 6/100ths.
Well, it looks like this track doesn't look too deep at all. It looks good.
Yeah. So my 2 horse didn't run too badly. I think it ran like 5th at 26 to 1. Not too bad. A little bit of improvement off them. Maybe so the next race it runs 2nd or 3rd. All right, Charles, that wraps it up. Any final thoughts today before you and I get out of here? Are joined by 22 to 1 Tom for tomorrow for Kentucky Downs?
No, just like I said every show until it happens, the September Kingland sale for yearlings. I'll be there. So if you guys, anybody out there wants to buy a horse, look at them, try to understand them, what's going on there, hey, hit me up and shoot me an email at bigcasinoracing@gmail.com.
Or if you want to get together with Charles beforehand for some bourbon and some Cheerios.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
You can take care of that. All right. Well, we certainly hope no matter what happens for the rest of your day that you have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do until we get back together again ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks again for joining us. Have a fantastic, Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Have a great Wednesday.